Today we're going to be removing this front wheel and changing this tyre. This tyre is a MITAS. However, I did have on there a rear tyre, and I found that once it has worn away, these knobbles have worn away, it just become very slippery. If you looked in the last video that I was riding the bike, when I got my black eye, I just could not find grip. The other two were getting on quite well with grip. One of the boys had quite a worn Michelin tyre on, albeit he had a puncher, so he had 100% grip, but he had a lot of grip. And the other guy had a brand new Michelin tyre on. So I kind of just made my mind up really to go back to Michelin. So I did change the rear tyre the other day. Unfortunately, that was before I decided that I was going to do this as a YouTube channel. But however, I decided that I was going to give this Michelin ENDURO Extreme tyre, this new Extreme tyre, a go. And one thing I did notice with it is how soft the tyre is. So it's going to be interesting to find out how that gets on. However, today I've got a couple of jobs I want to get on. I might not get them all in this video. Certainly want to try and get the front wheel removed, get that changed with the Rabaconda that can be seen over there. Again, the Rabaconda, that's a new bit of kit that we've got. Yeah, I'm looking forward to finding out how that gets on. I changed the rear wheel with that the other day. I've set it all up here for 21 inches, so we'll see how that goes when we get that front wheel off. So I believe 17mm socket for this. Oh, I got this disc guard. It's actually really well made. I can't remember where in fact I actually got it from, but I'll try and find out and put the link up in there, in the description. Find out the size for the Allen key there. No, oh, some of my set's actually missing. That's handy. 6mm, there we go, quarter drive, there it is. There we go. Yeah, this front disc guard, I'm not too sure whether I've actually used it in anger, whether it's actually saved my disc or not, but I suppose you wouldn't ever know if you hadn't fitted it. There's a couple of little marks on the bottom there, look. There's certainly a big mark there, that might have. And there, those marks might have come and damaged it, but it's one of those things that you kind of find hard. It's hard to work out whether it's actually going to save you or not, unless you can sort of see some big dents in the bottom there. But my disc is quite badly worn. Might give that a little measure actually and find out how worn that really is. However, I have ordered a new one, but I don't think we're going to get it this time of Christmas. But only time can tell with that one. Right, quarter drive sockets. $10mm socket. Crack them off. Pinch bolts. Crack that one off. Crack that one off. Crack that one off. Now I must stress that I might not be doing it the right way. After all, I'm not a bike mechanic. I am a mechanic, but on diggers and heavy plant machinery. That doesn't necessarily qualify me to be able to be professional with a motorbike. However, these aren't the only motorbikes I've ridden. I do have some track bikes as well that I'm fortunate enough to have, and I do a lot of maintenance on those, and can't say that I've ever had a problem with the way I do things. but I'm always willing to learn. Come on, off you come. Just tease this off. I think what this is where this disc is worn and you've got this lip here. The caliper's struggling to get over the top of it, but a little twist with it and it just pushes the pistons back in. Pads, albeit dirty, give that a clean up. They don't look horrendously warm. Right, 17mm again. There we go. You don't need to screw that out, it does just pull out. There we go. Right, and that should be the front wheel release. There we go. Right, let's put that over there so it doesn't get lost. Mind out the caliper. On the front wheel out, being careful of that disc there. Okay, right, now it's a very good idea not to go anywhere near that front brake lever, because if you do, what's going to happen is it's going to push that piston out and put those pads up, and then all you'll have to do is push the pads back in, push the pistons back in to be able to get it out, but it's just easier if you just don't. Here we are on the Rabaconda that I've only had for a couple of days. Right, I have watched a couple of videos on how to use this Rabaconda and I had quite good success with the rear one. As you can see, the proper Rabaconda tyre levers. That wants to be opposite apparently. Right, and now we've got to break the bead all the way around. This has got a mousse in this tyre and we're going to be using that mousse in the new Enduro. In the new Enduro medium front that we've got fitted up. That's the right. There we go, felt that one go in. Just feel a little clip in there to just be up behind the bead of the tyre. There we go. I don't know how many to use. Some people prefer like 3, some people like 4. I haven't really experimented that much yet, but let's see how we get on with 4. Now, push that side back up into the bead with your knee. Pull that one down, that one down. That one down, that one down. Right, rock. Back in there. Right, flip the tyre over. Back down. The bead that you've already broken off of the rim is directly below the lever. And then, as easy as the video says it is, should just come off. All the way around, all the way around, all the way around. The back this way. There we go, look. There we go. Right, now let's see. That one. There's the tyre off, and apparently to get it off of there, there we go. Well, that was quite easy. That was quite easy. Okay, there's the mousse. Let's get that out of there. This is a Michelin mousse. You'll probably shout at me for using it in a MITAS tyre. Probably not the greatest of things. Probably meant to use the right one. However, this is what it is. Doesn't look too bad a condition. I do like to grease up my mousses. I use quite a lot of mousse grease, something like that, whatever it's called. Bib mousse. Right, I'll go and get the new tyre and we'll swap it over. Well, here we are with the my new Michelin Enduro medium front tyre. One thing I want to show you actually is the difference between this tyre and the new Extreme that I've got on the back of my bike now. Now, obviously, one major difference is that this is the front and that's the rear. However, I believe that this compound of this tyre is the same as the Michelin Enduro medium compound of the standard rear Michelin tyre. But one thing that is really noticeable, now obviously I have had this outside but not ridden on it, is how different black this is. I don't know whether that's got something to do with the silica in the tyre. This new Extreme tyre has got a lot more silica in it, which just gives it a lot more soft, pliable to the knobbles. But look, that one just, it's got movement but not a lot. It actually feels a lot harder. That feels so soft and gummy. But yeah, that's one thing I did notice, is how much blacker that Extreme tyre is. Now, they don't do an Extreme in the Enduro tyre, but I do believe they do a Star Cross Soft. But maybe I'll go over to that one in the future. But for the minute, I'm quite excited to find out what that one's like, and I just wanted to match it with a Michelin front. Right, let's get some mousse lube in the tyre here. There's my mousse lube. Some people put the mousse lube on the mousse. I kind of like to put it in the tyre. Again, for me, it's just personal preference. Whether it's the right way or not, I don't know. But I just put it in there. I don't know whether I use too much or too little or what, but like I said, I've had these mousses in now probably a year. No, maybe not quite a year. February this year. It's now December. I put it in, and it's still holding up really well. I haven't noticed that it's gone too soft or ridiculously soft or anything. I've done maybe 60 hours on the bike since putting the new mousses in. It's had maybe two, maybe three tyres, one of which is the Michelin, one is the other ones were just Michelin Enduro mediums, same as this one. I get all my tyres, well, the Michelin tyres, from Enduro tyres. Just pop over there onto the internet. I have spoke to them on the phone. They're a very nice, kind bunch. They'll always do their best to get everything out to you. I also got the Rabaconda from there. I've been in a bit of a sticky situation before. I sort of phoned them up and they said, yeah, no problem, we'll get it out to you. And they say it's going to be here tomorrow. And guess what? There it was. There was a bit of a back order on this front, and I was quite surprised that it turned up today actually, because they told me that it probably wouldn't turn up till the new year. So I'll probably give them a call and thank them for that. Right, get that started in there. Just push it in, work it round. Fighting mousses. My friend uses tubeless. Again, he can be seen on the my good friend's YouTube channel, Enduro Traveller. He uses tubeless. He had a puncture last week and was riding with no pressure in the back tyre, and the traction he got was unreal. But when it comes to being on the road, I don't know, I didn't ask him actually, but maybe he'll comment on this video, but I can imagine it was probably a little bit sketchy. But I like mousses, they do the job for me. Like I said, you can still get puncture even with the tubeless. Right, these tyres are rotational, and there should be an arrow on them somewhere. Front, there it is, there's the arrow. So that means that tyre's got to go that side, which means that the disc is on that side of the bike. That's going that way, that's going that way. So with the disc up in the air, arrow wants to be pointing that way, which, where is the arrow? Oh, it's on the other side. Is there only one on the one side? Where's the arrow? There. So that facing, when I turn that down, face that down, that arrow will be going with the rim there. Right. Start it on the rim lock. Up on there. There we go. These are where I really like these bars, because you put one in there, that, you hook that up under there, and then you just work around. Probably making this look really hard work, but like I said, I'm no professional. Just like our riding. If you look at our channel and look at our riding, you will notice that work that in. I like this. Oh, I do like these levers. There we go, look at that. In. Let's just make sure that's definitely on that rim lock, yep. That was easy. Even for somebody who is not a professional, I must admit that is easy. There we go. There we go. New tyre. Just double check the rotation before we put it on. So it's going to be rotating that way. Oh my god. Let's go around this side. Why can't they put the arrow on both sides? There we go, front, rotation that way, perfect. Mind you, albeit that doesn't look like a rotational wheel, I'm not too sure why it has to be rotational. I'm sure somebody will. But I suspect it's probably got something to do with how the inside of it is wound. The plies, don't know how many plies there is in this tyre, but there we go, there's that shaft in. Alright, it's best to start on a corner. There we go, and then just slots on. Easy as that. So the brake caliper's all on. I like to use a little bit of anti-seize copper grease. This is Morris. Something that I sell as part of my work. Some people like to put Loctite on these. I don't know, there's probably arguments for both. However, you are bolting a steel bolt into an aluminium carrier. You are taking these through God knows what on these Kentish byways and roads and woods and everything like that, and it's just opening yourselves up for a lot of corrosion. Anti-seize on there. now we've got that on, just nip it up like that. So without putting the guard on, pull that in. Right, we've nipped up our brake caliper, pump the lever up, and we can feel that we're free. We've got nothing biting on the caliper. Now what we need to do, we've nipped that up, so we've pulled the axle against this stanchion and the shoulder that's on the axle. And this stanchion here now free floats. So now we've got this side tight, and we've got the axle bolt nipped up. We haven't tightened it up yet because we've got to put the guard back on. We'll nip these bolts up, so now the axle is tight, all up against the wheel spacers here and here. Nip that up. And then what we'll do is we'll just loosen these off and allow them just to settle where that wants to on that. You see the play there? See, it can be in anywhere it wants to be. So the idea is just to get that to sit where it wants to sit, not have it forced anywhere. So with that nice and loose, we can put a bit of weight on the front. And that should move that stanchion to where it comfortably wants to be. Again, you might be able to educate me if I'm doing this wrong. And then we nip them up. Nip that one up. Double check that one. Double check these two. Always check to do one, go back to the other one, because you're clamping them. You tighten one up, it could bring the other one loose. So make sure you both are tight. There is a torque setting for these, however I don't have my torque wrench, so it is what it is. Tighten that bolt up, tighten that up, tight, double check that bolt, and there we go. Changed, front wheel changed. So maybe on my next video what I'll do is do an oil change. I've got this special little tool here, which is like a little bendy oil drain tool, which makes changing the oil very nice and tidy. So yeah, quite excited to do that video. Try and maybe get that done tomorrow now, but I'm happy with that. That's good. I'm happy with that.